ॐ शुक्लां भरधरं विष्णुं शशिवर्णं चतुर्भुजं प्रसन्नवदनं ध्यायेत् सर्वविघ्नोपशान्तये। ॐ सहना भवतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यं करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै। ॐ शान्तिः शान्तिः शान्तिः। अगजानन पद्मार्कं गजाननमहर्निशम् अनेकदन्तं भक्तानाम् एकदन्तमुपास्महे। श्रीमहागणपतये नमः। गुरवे सर्वलोकानां विषजे भवरोगिणां निधये सर्वविद्यानां श्रीदक्षिणामूर्तये नमः। अस्मद्गुरुचरणारविन्दाभ्यां नमः। वसुदेवसुतं देवं कंसचाणूरमर्दनं देवकी परमानन्दं कृष्णं वन्दे जगद्गुरुं। ज्ञानानन्दमयं देवं निर्मलस्फटिकाकृतिम् आधारं सर्वविद्यानां श्रीहयग्रीवमुपास्महे। श्रीहयग्रीवमूर्तये नमः। सरस्वती नमस्तुभ्यं वरदे कामरूपिणि विद्यारम्भं करिष्यामि सिद्धिर्भवतु मे सदा। श्रीमहासरस्वत्यै नमः। उमाकोमलहस्ताब्जसम्भावितललाटकं हिरण्यकुण्डलं वन्दे कुमारं पुष्करस्रजं। வெற்றிவேல் முருகனுக்கு ஹரஹரோஹரா. லோகவீரியம் மகாபூஜ்யம் சர்வரக்ஷாகரம் விபும் பார்வதி ஹிருதயானந்தம் சாஸ்தாரம் பிரணமாம்யகம். स्वामिये शरणमय्यप्पा। वागर्ताविव सम्पृक्तौ वागर्तप्रतिपत्तये जगतः पितरौ वन्दे पार्वती परमेश्वरौ। श्रीपार्वती परमेश्वराभ्यां नमः। कोमलं कूजयन् वेणुं श्यामलोऽयं कुमारकः वेदवेद्यं परब्रह्म तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। अस्मद्गुरुचरणारविन्दाभ्यां नमः। श्रीकृष्ण गोविन्द हरे मुरारे श्रीनाथ नारायण वासुदेव। श्रीकृष्ण गोविन्द हरे मुरारे श्रीनाथ नारायण वासुदेव। श्रीकृष्ण गोविन्द हरे मुरारे श्रीनाथ नारायण वासुदेव। पीताम्बरं करविराजितचक्रशङ्खकौमोदकी सरसिजं करुणासमुद्रं राधासहायम् अतिसुन्दरमन्दहासं वातालयेशम् अनिशं हृदि भावयामि। कृष्णो रक्षतु मां चराचरगुरुः कृष्णं नमस्ये सदा। कृष्णेनैव सुरक्षितोऽहमसकृत् कृष्णाय दत्तं मनः। कृष्णादेव समुद्भवो मम विभो कृष्णस्य दासोऽस्म्यहं। कृष्णे भक्तिरचञ्चलास्तु भगवन् हे कृष्ण तुभ्यं नमः। श्रीगुरुवायूरप्पा शरणं। नम्राणां सन्निधत्ते सततमपि पुरस्तैरणभ्यर्थितानपि अर्थान् कामानजस्रं वितरति परमानन्दसान्द्रां गतिं च। इत्थं निःशेषलभ्यो निरवधिकफलः पारिजातो हरे त्वं क्षुद्रं तं शक्रवाटी द्रुममभिलषति व्यर्थमर्थिव्रजोऽयं। श्रीगुरुवायूरप्पा शरणं। श्रीभट्टपादम् अनिशं हृदि भावयामि। वंशी विभूषितकरात् नवनीरधाभात् पीताम्बरात् अरुणबिम्बफलादरोष्टात् पूर्णेन्दुसुन्दरमुखात् अरविन्दनेत्रात् कृष्णात् परं किमपि तत्त्वमहं न जाने। കൈരണ്ടും കൂപ്പി ഞാൻ വീണ്ടുമീറക്കുന്നു നീരജലോചന നിന്നോടായി. ഏതീനു മന്യനെ കുമ്പിടേണ്ടാത്തോരു രീതിയിൽ നീ എന്നെ പാലിക്കെന്നായി. കൃഷ്ണ ഹരേ ജയ കൃഷ്ണ ഹരേ ജയ കൃഷ്ണ ഹരേ ജയ കൃഷ്ണ ഹരേ. Good morning, everyone. Okay, so we'll do a quick review of 69. Matangi, Srividya, can you do half?
Yeah, I'll try. Okay, I didn't. Yeah. I only practiced only once, so I'll try.
Yes, myself also.
Okay. Now, Srividya, you want to go first, or either way is okay?
Yes, I will go first. Okay. Dasakam 69, Rasa Krida. Kesapasathrida pinjika vidati sanjalam magara kundalam harajala vanamalika lalita mangaraga gana saurabham Pidaselatrida kanji kanjidam udanjadam sumaninoopuram Rasakeli paribhushitam davahirubami sakatayamahe Davadeva krida mandane kalida kanjuliga kuja mandale Gandalola mani kundale yuvati mandale da parimandale Andara sagala sundari yugalam Andira ramana sanjaran Manjulam tadanu rasa keli mahi kanjana basamupadataha
She within the third line, it's a third line, right? Antara sakala sundari yugalam indira.
Indira ramana sanjaran Manjulam tadanu rasa keli mahi kanjana basamupadataha Vasudeva tava pasamanamiha rasakeli rasa saurabham Duratobi khalu narada gaditam Akalayya kudukakula Veshabhushana vilasa vesala vilasini sada samavrita Nagato yuga padakata viyadi Vegato dasuramandali Venunada krita dhananada Venunada krita dhananadana kala
Venunata krita ta first is a ta dana dana.
Okay. Venunada krita dhananada nakala dhana raga katiyojana Lopaniya mritu pada krita thala melana manokaram Pani sangvanita kangananja mukuram salambita karambujam Shroni bimba saladhambaram bhajatarasa keli rasadhambaram Shraddhaya virasithanuka nakrida dhara madhurasvare Nardhane dalalithangahara lulithangahara manibhushane Sammadena krita pushpavarshamala munmishat Divishatham kulam Shinmaye tvai niliyamanamiva sammumoha savadu kulam.
You can do the next two lines and stop, the half of that and stop.
Okay. Svinnasannadanu vallari tadanu kapi nama pasupangana Gandam samvalamba
Kantam amsam.
Gandam amsam valambate smatava Danti para mukulekshana.
Kachida chalita kundala navapati patira saragana saurabam Vanchanena tava sanchuchumba bhujam anchitora pulakankura Kapi ganda bhuvi sannidhaya nija gandam akulita kundalam punya pura nidir anbhavapatava poga charvita rasamritam Indira vihati mandiram bhuvana sundaram hinat nantare tvamavapya dadur ranganakimuna sammadon mada dashantaram Ganamisha virata kramena kila vadyamelanum uparatam Brahma Sammadarasa Kulah
Kulas.
Kulas Sadasi Kevalam na Nrutu Ranganaha Navidan Napicha Nivikam Kimapi Kundale Mapicha Kanchulim Jyotishamapi Kadambakam Divi Vilambitam Kimaparam Bruve Modasim Nibhuvanam Vilapi Vrihitam Samapya Chato Vibo Keli Samridita Dana
Correct.
Nirmalanganav Garmalesha Subha Gatmanam Manmata Sahana Chetasam Pashupa Yoshitam Shukra Choditaha Tava Dakalita Murtira Dahita Maravira Paramotsavan Keli Bedi Parilolita Birati Lalita Bira Balalibihi Swarimisha Nanu Sura Japayasi Charunama Virhatim Vyadaha Kanane Picha Visari Shitala Kishora Maruta Manohare Suna Saurabha Mahe Vilasita Vilasini Shata Vimohanam Kamini Ritihi Yamini Shukol Kaminiya Kanide Bhavan Kanide Bhavan Purna Sammada Rasanavam Kamapi Yogi Gamyam Anubhavayan Brahma Shankara Mukana Piha Pashu Panganasu Bahumaya Manayan Bhaktaloka Gamaniya Rupa Kamaniya Krishna Paripahi Mam Bhaktaloka Gamaniya Rupa Kamaniya Krishna Paripahi Mam Bhaktaloka Kamaniya Rupa Kamaniya Krishna Paripahi Mam. Om Krishnaya Parabrahmane Namaha.
Yeah, very good. All right, so let's continue from where we left 98. I think we did up to 6, right? So we'll start with 7. So first half, Sujata Garu, you can be a student, and Uma, you can be a student, okay? Okay, okay, so we'll start from, I think we finished up to 6, so we'll start from the 7th stanza, right? Bhusha Suswarnabadha Jagati Ghatashara Vadike Mrittikavate Tatve Sancintyamane Spurati Tat Aduna Advidiyam Vapuste Swapna Drashtuh Pramode Timiralaya Vidau Jirna Rajjoscha Yadvate Vidya Labhe Tataiva Sputamapi Vikaset Krishna Tasmai Namaste. So in the last one, right, we spoke about how, like, the knowledge, the ignorance, we spoke about what happens when you don't have, when you have ignorance, and then how everything appears as two, right? So and the example that was given was when you are actually, when there's no light and you walk into a room and you see a rope, it looks like a snake. That was kind of the example we were talking about, right? So this one is continuing, right? So all of you, since we have a lot of ladies here, you all love to go to jewelry shop. You go to Kalyan Jewelers to shop. You see all this variety of gold jewelry there, right? Different bangles and different types of things. But what he says, the same example he says, at the end of the day, when you melt all of those gold jewelry you have, what you get is just gold, right? So when you look at it, it all looks different, right? Each one is priced different, each one has different varieties and everything. But at the end of the day, it is all gold. Similarly, he gives another example of earthen pots. So when you go buy the clay pots, all of them with different designs, colors and paintings and everything, but when it breaks, and then everything shreds. At the end of the day, it's all clay. She says that is how it already is. It's actually Advaitam. It is always non-duality. It just looks like there is two different things, but at the end of the day, inside everybody is the same Paramatma, the same person is actually there in everything. The reason it is appearing as two is when you go to buy your gold, you're looking at buying an jewelry, but not looking at buying gold. Similarly, when you're looking at this, if you look at what is inherently inside all of us, he says it's the same thing that is there, and only when that avidya goes away and vidya, which is ignorance, right? Ignorance goes away and knowledge comes, then it's like switching the light on in the previous room. Then the rope that was there looks like a rope and not like a snake anymore. So you, oh Krishna, who is the Brahman, who is the Brahman who is there in everybody. So that Krishna, tasmai namaste, my salutations to you. So bhushasu swarna vadva, comma, jagati ghata sharavadike mritti kavat, put a it at the end of that line, mritti kavat. Next line, if you have it and a tha, that it goes away. Tatve sanchintya comma, spurati. So the next word, it's easy to break it as tat adhanu adhanuna yabdvidya. Otherwise, tadaduna, it'll be a tongue twister because you have a first dha and then a dha, second dha coming there. So tat adhanuna yadvidiyam. Dvidiyam vapuste. Bhushasu swarnavadhva jagati ghatashara mrittikavate tatve sancintyamane spurati tat adhanu ya. Tongue twister. Adhanu yapyadvitiyam vapuste.
Do we have to break it down or can we continue?
If you can say thadaduna, thadadu. The three, right? Ta, da, da. Three things coming there.
Okay. Bhushasu swarnavadva jagati ghata sharavadike mrittikavatu tatve samchintyamane spurati tadadhunapyadvitiyam vapuste.
Sujata Garu, that second line, right? Sancintyamani, in sound. It's a nyas half.
Okay, sancintyamani. Okay. Bhushasu swarnavadva jagati ghata sharavadike mrittikavatu tatve sancintyamane spurati tadadhunapyadvitiyam vapuste.
Bhushasu swarnavadva jagati katashara vadike mrittikavat tatve sancintyamane spurati tadanuta abhitiyam vapuste.
Uma, thadadhu, tad adhuna.
Tadanuna.
No, you're saying nu, it's a dhu. Tad adhuna.
Tad adhuna. Bhushasu swarnavadva jagati katashara vadike mrittigavat tatve sancintyamane spurati tat adanuna abhyatiyam vapuste.
You can't break it as advidiyam, so it has to be said the way it is because there's a sandhi coming there. So thadhadunapyadvidiyam, yadvid, up in the ya sound letter has to come there.
Okay. Tat adanuna abhyatvidiyam.
You have to practice a little bit. Thadhadunapya. Yeah. It's api and a, two different words. That way it becomes a pya there, right? So anyway, you need to practice a little bit. It's a little bit of a tough word there. So swapna drashtuhu, put a f, drashtuf prabodhe, comma, timira laya vidhau, jirna rajjoscha yadvat, put a it at the end of that line, comma, yadvat. Next line, the dvi that you have becomes a v. Vidya labhe tathaiva, comma, sputamapi vikaset Krishna tasmai namaste. Swapna drashtuf prabodhe timiralaya vidhau jirna rajjoscha yadvate vidya labhe tathaiva sputamapi vikaset Krishna tasmai namaste.
स्वप्नद्रष्टुः प्रबोधे तिमिरलयविधौ जीर्णरग्नोश्च यत्त्वतु विद्यालाभे तथैव स्फुटमपि विकसेत् कृष्ण तस्मै नमस्ते स्वप्नद्रष्टुः प्रबोधे तिमिरलयविधौ जीर्णरग्नोश्च यद्वतु विद्यालाभे तथैव स्फुटमपि विकसेत् कृष्ण तस्मै नमस्ते
स्वप्नद्रष्टु प्रबोधे तिमिरलयविधौ जीर्णरञ्जोश्च यद्वत् विद्यालाभे तथैव स्फुटमपि विकसेत् कृष्ण तस्मै नमस्ते.
So, and the third line, right? It is Jeerna Rajjoscha. It's a ij and then a ja coming there. So not a in. Rajjoscha. Rajjoscha. Ij and the ja. Double J. Yeah, correct. Yeah.
स्वप्नद्रष्टु प्रबोधे तिमिरलयविधौ रञ्जोश्च रज्जोश्च यद्वत् विद्यालाभे तथैव स्फुटमपि विकसेत् कृष्ण तस्मै नमस्ते.
Stanza 8. यद्भीत्योदेति सूर्यो दहति च दहनो वाति वायुस्तथान्ये यद्भीताः पद्मजाध्याः पुनरुचितबलीनाहरन्तेनु कालं येनैवारोपिताः प्राङ् निजपदमपि ते च वितारश्च पश्चात् तस्मै विश्वं नियन्त्रे वयमपि भवते कृष्ण कुर्मः प्रणामम्. So the main thing here is Tasmai Vishwam Niyantre. At the end of the day, you are the controller of the world, right? So he says, it's because of you that the sun is in its position doing whatever it is supposed to do. The fire burns, the wind blows, right? All of this, and why even Brahma is non-existent without you, right? I think we discussed very briefly, and we'll see more of that when we go to the last session around the creation, everything, where he says, even Brahma is at the end of the day coming from you. And when Brahma also has a limited time, even he doesn't, his power is also constrained, right? He has his 100 years of Brahma. At the end of it, he has to go into you too. So even he is doing his duties. All of these people are just doing their duties. And you are the only one who is controlling what they are supposed to do. So to that, Tasmai Vishwam Niyantri, to that person who is bringing people to the respective roles, making them do their roles, and when the roles are done, bringing them all back into you at the end of the Kalpa Pralaya, like we spoke about. So to that Krishna, my salutations. Yat bhityo deti suryo, comma, dahati cha dahano. So this is talking, first is the Surya, second is the fire, dahati cha dahano, comma, vati vayus tathanye. So even Vayu is doing his job, right, of the wind blowing and whatever needs to happen according to that, comma. Yad bhitaha, put a F, Padmajadhyaha. Padmajadhya is one who's come from the lotus, which is Brahma, comma. Punaruchita Bali Naharantenu Kalam. We can either say it together, or if you want to break it, Balin Aharantenu Kalam. Yadbhityo deti suryo dahati cha dahano vati vayustathanhe yadbhitah padmajadhyah punaruchita balina harantenu kalam.
यद्भीत्योदेति सूर्यो दहति च दहनो वाति वायुस्तथान्ये यद्भीताः पद्मजाद्याः पुनरुचितबलिना हरन्तेनु कालम् यद्भीत्योदेति सूर्यो दहति च दहनो वाति वायुस्तथान्ये यद्भीताः पद्मजाद्याः पुनरुचितबलिना हरन्तेनु कालम्
यद्भीत्योतेदि सूर्यो दहति च दहनो वाति वायुस्तदान्ये यत्पीदाः पद्मजात्याः पुनरुचितबलिन् आकरन्तेनु कालम् यद्भीत्योतेदि सूर्यो दहति च दहनो आदिवायुस्तदान्ये यत्पीदाः पद्मजात्याः पुनरुचितबलिन् आहरन्तेनु कालम्
Yenaivaropitaha, comma, prang, so ing sound, prang nija padam apite, comma, Chya vitarascha paschat, comma. So 3 commas there. Paschat, comma. Tasmai vishwam niyantre, comma. Vayamapi bhavate Krishna kurmaha, put F, kurmaf pranamam. येनैवारोपिताः प्राङ्निजपदमपि ते च्यावितारश्च पश्चात् तस्मै विश्वं नियन्त्रे वयमपि भवते कृष्ण कुर्मः प्रणामम्.
येनैवारोपिताः प्राङ्निजपदमपि ते चावितारश्च पश्चात् तस्मै विश्वं नियन्त्रे वयमपि भवते कृष्ण कुर्मः प्रणामम्. येनैवारोपिताः प्राङ्निजपदमपि ते चावितारश्च पश्चात् तस्मै विश्वं नियन्त्रे वयमपि भवते कृष्ण कुर्मः प्रणामम्.
येनैवारोपिताः प्राङ् येनैवारोपिताः
पिताः
पिताः येनैवारोपिताः प्राङ्निजपदमपि ते च्याविदारश्च पश्चात् तस्मै विश्वं नियन्त्रे वयमपि भवते कृष्ण कुर्मः प्रणामम्. येनैवारोपिताः प्राङ्निजपदमपि ते च्याविश्च विदारश्च पश्चात् तस्मै विश्वं नियन्त्रे वयमपि भवते कृष्ण कुर्मः प्रणामम्.
Uma, under the last line, right, is kurma, short ku, not long u. So kurma pranama.
कृष्ण कुर्मः प्रणामम्.
So this one, right, since many of you know Vishnu Sahasranamam here, I think one of the stanzas, Dhyausa Chandrarka Nakshatra Khamdisho Bhurmaho Datihi Vasudevasya Viryena Vidritani Mahatmanaha. It's saying the same thing. This Chandra, this Nakshatra, this directions, all of these things are there doing their job only because of Vasudevasya Viryena, because of your power is why all of these things are in existence. Anyway, this comes from the Upanishads, so that's why everybody uses the kind of the same theme there. Stanza 9. Trailokyam bhavayantam trigunamayamidam traksharasyaikavacyam trishanam aikyarupam tribirapi nigamaihi giyamana swarupam tisro vastavidantam triyugajanijusham trikramakranta vishwam traikalye bhedahinam tribirahamanisham yoga bhedair bhaje tvam. So here you see a lot of this tra or three coming because that essentially means number 3, right? So he's saying Trilokyam, so Bhavayantam. So you are the one who created the 3 worlds. So we know that we already discussed there are 14 worlds. The 14 worlds are categorized into 3 worlds for simplicity. So the bottom 7, middle world, and then the top 6, right? So those are classes 3 worlds. So you are the one who created the 3 worlds. Then 3 gunam ayamidam. So you are the one who also created the 3 gunas, the rajas, tamas, sattva, guna. So you are the one who is the creator of it. Also, although we've seen, however, in this case that for of course the ultimate Bhagavan, the sattva gunam is the predominant one. There is no rajas and tamas that is there, but you created the 3 gunas, right? Then trakshara seika vachyam. So 3 akshara, the word that is formed by the 3 letters, which is A-U-M, Om, the Pranava mantra. So you are the Pranava mantra itself. Trakshara seika vachyam. Then Trishanam Aikya Rupam. So all the 3 deities, the Brahma, Vishnu, Shiva, and we'll see some of those later on when we do the earlier chapters. So they are in the Satya Loka. But before, like we said, outside of the Brahmanda is the Vaikuntham where you are there. So you are the one who's created all of that. So you are the 3 of them merged into one. However, each of them, like we said, has different combination of Rajas, Tamas, and Sattva Guna. So you are you are the Aikya Rupam of all of them. Tribirapi Nigamaihi. Nigama means Veda. So you are the one who sung in all the 3 Vedas, right? You are sung by that, sung by all of them. And then Tisro Vasta Vidantam. So see, when we are sleeping, we have no idea what is happening. When we are dreaming, we are in a completely different world. We don't know what is reality, whether the dream is a reality or what is the reality, we don't know. And then we have the awake state, right? He's saying, but you are the only one who knows all the 3 states, what is there. We only know one state at a time, what is happening, but you know across all the 3 states. So of sleep and everything. And then Trikram Akranta Vishwam. So we saw this already. Vamana Avataram. You covered the entire Vishwam in 3 steps. So that also the number 3 is coming. And then Traikalye Bhedahinam. So the 3 kalas here referring to the past, present, and the future. So no matters, like we discussed, right? I am right now here. Just 20 years back, I looked much younger. 20 years later, I'm going to look completely different, just in the same yugam. But however, you across all the 3 yugams, you are remaining unchanged. You are the only one who doesn't change across all the 3 yugams, and then you remain the same. And then he says, Bhaje Twam, I am worshipping you through yoga, 3 yogas, Bhakti Yoga, Karma Yoga, Jnana Yoga. So those 3 yogas, I will worship to you and I do my salutation. So essentially, he's just saying how, he's just kind of, being a poet, he's playing with the number 3 and saying how a lot of these things that you do is around the number 3. So Trilokyam Bhavayantam Triguna Mayamidam, Traksharasyaika Vachyam. So Traksharasyaika Vachyam, Trishanam Aikya Rupam Tribirapi Nigamaihi. So put a visarga there and comma, Nigamaihi. Next on top of that, Giya, there is a ir that goes away. Giyamana Swarupam. Trilokyam Bhavayantam Trigunamayamidham Traksharasyaika Vachyam Trishanam Aikya Rupam Tribirapi Nigamaihi Giyamana Swarupam.
Trailokyam bhavayantam trigunamayamidam triaksharasvaikavacyam trishanamaikya-rupam tribhirapi nigamaihi giyamana-swarupam. Trailokyam bhavayantam trigunamayamidam triaksharasvaikavacyam trishanamaikya-rupam tribhirapi nigamaihi giyamana-swarupam.
Sujata Garu, that first line, right? Treksharas Yeik Y. Yeika Vachyam. Next, I heard something different there. Yeah.
Okay. Traksharasvaikavacyam, right?
No, Treksharas Yeika Vachyam. Ya, Y.
Okay. Syaikavad. Okay.
Trilokyam Bhavayantam Trikunamayamitam Traikarasyaikavacyam
Treksharas Yeika.
Traksharasyaikavacam Trishanamaikya-rupam Trimapirapi Nigamaihi Kiyamana-swarupam. Trilokyam Bhavayantam Trikunamayamitam Trayarakshaikavacam.
It's not Trai. It's Triya. Treksharas Yeika.
இங்க எனக்கு 3 and எழுதி
And the 3 adala, it's like Trayambakam Yajamahe, not Triyambakam Yajamahe, right? And the 3. So Treksharasyaika Vachyam.
Traksharasyaikavacyam Trishanamaikya-rupam Tripirabi Nigamaihi Kiyamana-swarupam.
Tisro Vasta Vidantam Triyuga Jani Jusham, Trikramakranta Vishwam, if you want to break it, Trikramakranta Vishwam, Traikalye Bhedahinam Tribiraha Manisham, Yoga Bhedair Bhaje Twam. Tisro Vasta Vidantam Triyuga Janijusham Trikramakranta Vishwam Traikalye Bhedahinam Tribiraha Manisham Yoga Bhedair Bhaje Twam.
Trisovasta vidantam triyugajanijusham trikramakranta vishvam traikalye bhedahinam tribirahamanisham yoga bhedair bhaje tvam. Trisovasta vidantam triyugajanijusham trikramakranta vishvam Traikalye bhedahinam tripirahamanisham yoga bhedair bhaje tvam.
Tisro vasta vidantam triyugajanijusham trikramakranta vishwam traikalye bhedahinam tripirahamanisham yoga bhedair bhaje tvam.
Tvam.
Tvam. Tisro Vaska Vidantam Triyuga Janijusham Trikramakrantra Vishwam Traikalye Petahinam Tripirahan Manisham Yoga Peder Bhajitvam.
That's a 10. Satyam Shuddham Vibhuddham Jayati Tava Vapuhu Nitya Muktam Niriham Nirdvandvam Nirvikaram Nikila Gunagana Vyanjanadhara Bhutam Nirmulam Nirmalam Tan Niravadi Mahimollasi Nirlinamantaha Nissanganam Muninam Nirupama Paramananda Sandra Prakasham. Some of this again just praising the nirguna aspect of the Lord, which we've seen several things before, right? Is just kind of comparing and saying your thing is like we said, right? I think I compared that day between how do you define, right, the Brahman, because you kind of do it by one minus all the other attributes. So it's the same thing is saying, so Satyam, you're always truth, right? Always eternal, like we all exist at a point in time. Then you're pure, so you don't have any malam in it, right? So nirmalam. So you're completely pure, you're not tainted by anything which is there. So he's talking about your vapuhu, your form of yours is completely pure. And then it talks about nitya muktam. You are not bound by anything like all of us are. We are constrained by time, space, and also our karmas, but you are not bound by anything. So you're completely free. And then desireless. So that is something which is very important. Like we said, even Brahma, and we'll see when he prays for the first time, he'll say, although you have to give me the intent to create, make sure I'm not getting too desirous, because then I'm going to get bound by more karma. But you, O Lord Brahman, you are not bound by any of the desires and everything. So he's kind of talking about the definition of the Brahman here, who's free from ignorance and all of that. So that form of you which is completely resident in the minds of sages. So to that form, my salutations. So Satyam Shuddham Vibhuddham Jayati Tava Vapuhu. Put a visarga and a comma there. Vapuhu. Then on top of the ni, next word you have a ir that goes away. Nitya Muktam Niriham, comma. Nirdvandvam Nirvikaram, comma. Nikhila Guna Gana Vyanjanadhara Bhutam. Satyam Shuddham Vibhuddham Jayati Tava Vapuhu Nitya Muktam Niriham Nirdvandvam Nirvikaram Nikhila Gunagana Vyanjanadhara Bhutam.
Satyam Shuddham Vibhuddham Jayati Tava Vapuhu Nityamuktam Niriham Nirdvandvam Nirvikaram Nikhila Gunagana Vyanjanadhara Bhutam. Satyam Shuddham Vibhuddham Jayati Tava Vapuhu Nityamuktam Niriham Nirdvandvam Nirvikaram Nikhila Gunagana Vyanjanadhara Bhutam.
Satyam Shuddham Vibhuttam Jayati Tava Vapuhu Nityamuktam Niriham Nirdvandvam Nirviharam Nikhila Gunagana Vyanjanadhara Bhutam. Satyam Shuddham Vibhuttam Jayati Tava Vapuhu Nityamuktam Niriham Nirdvandvam Nirviharam Nikhila Gunagana Vyanjanadhara Bhutam.
Nirmulam Nirmalam, comma. Tan Niravadhi Mahimollasi Nirlina Mantaha. Put a visarga there, comma. Nirlina Mantaha. Next line, on top of that ni, there is a ir that will go away. Nis Sanganam Muninam, comma. Nirupama Paramananda Sandra Prakasham. Nirmulam Nirmalam Tan Niravadi Mahimollasi Nirlinamantaha Nissanganam Muninam Nirupama Paramananda Sandra Prakasham.
Nirmulam Nirmalam Tanniravadi Mahimollasi Nirlinamantaha Nissanganam Muninam Nirupama Paramananda Sandra Prakasham. Nirmulam Nirmalam Tanniravadi Mahimollasi Nirlinamantaha Nissanganam Muninam Nirupama Paramananda Sandra Prakasham.
Nirmulam Nirmalam Tan Niravadiha Mahimollasi Nirlinamantaha निस्सङ्गानां मुनीनां निरुपमपरमानन्दसान्द्रप्रहासं निर्मूलं निर्मलं तन्निरवधिः महिमोल्लासि निर्लीनमन्तः निस्सङ्गानां मुनीनां निरुपमपरमानन्दसान्द्रप्रहासं.
Uma, on the third line, right? Tan niravadhi mahimo. There's no ha or anything there.
निरवधि.
Yeah, niravadhi mahimollasi. That's it. Okay. Last stanza. Durvaram dvadasharam trishata parimilat shashti parvabhivitam sambhramyat krooravegam kshanamanu jagadachitya sandhavamanam chakram te kalarupam vyatayatu natumam tvatpadeikavalambham vishno karunya sindho pavanapurapate pahi sarvamayoghat. In last stanza, so but it's praying here, saying this, what doesn't, like we always say, right? The only constant is change, right? Similarly, he's saying that this time, right? And he's kind of putting a structure to it. Says this is like a wheel of time, which has got dvadasharam. It has got 12 spokes in it, in the wheel of time, and then the teeth of the wheel is 360, referring to the 360 days, right, of the year. So is this, as a wheel of time is cutting through, this is irreversible, durvaram. It's going to keep going through, right, over space and time. Everything is going, and as time goes, miseries always continue to increase. And because we all kind of continue to, we're comfortable adding more miseries to ourselves, right? So as more miseries come on to me with this time of speed of time, and this is cutting through time, my only refuge is you. Tvatpade kavalambam. Your feet is the only refuge. We'll see why he's saying the word feet is the only refuge in the 100th Dasakam, right? We'll see why he uses that word. But he says, for me, there's no other refuge except you. So you are the one. So may this time not torment me. So it says, let this not disturb me. May I not run into more problems because of this. O Vishnu, Karunya Sindhu, one who's full of compassion, Pavana Purapate, Lord of Guruvai, please eradicate all my ailments and diseases I have. So Durvaram Dvadasharam, Trishata Parimilat Shashti Parvabhivitam, Sambhramyat Krooravegam, Kshanamanu Jagadachidya Sandhavamanam. Durvaram Dvadasharam Trishata Parimilat Shashti Parvabhivitam Sambhramyat Krooravegam Kshanamanu Jagadachidya Sandhavamanam.
दुर्वारं द्वादशारं त्रिशतपरिमिलत षष्टिपर्वाभिरीतं सम्भ्राम्यत् क्रूरवेगं क्षणमनुजगदाचित्य सन्धावमानम् दुर्वारं द्वादशारं त्रिशतपरिमिलत षष्टिपर्वाभिरीतं
Parimilat, that's it. It only. I think you're saying a tha also there.
Parimilat षष्टि, right?
Yeah, correct.
Okay. Durvaram dvadasharam trishata parimilat षष्टि पर्वाभिवीतं सम्भ्राम्यत् क्रूरवेगं क्षणमनु जगदाचित्य सन्धावमानम्.
दुर्वारं द्वादशारं त्रिशत परिमिलत् षष्टि पर्वाभिवीतं सम्प्राम्यत् क्रूरवेगं क्षणमनु जगदाचित्य सन्धावमानम् दुर्वारं द्वादशारं त्रिशत परिमिलत् षष्टि पर्वाभिवीतं सम्प्राम्यत् क्रूरवेगं क्षणमनु जगदाचित्य सन्धावमानम्.
Chakram te kalarupam, vyathayatu na thumam tvat padaikavalambham, Vishno Karunya Sindho, Pavanapurapate, Pahi Sarvamayoghat. Chakram te kalarupam vyatayatu natumam tvatpadaikavalambham Vishno Karunya Sindho Pavanapurapate Pahi Sarvamayoghat.
Chakram te kalarupam व्यथयतु न तु मां त्वत्पदैकावलम्बं विष्णो कारुण्य सिन्धो पवनपुरपते पाहि सर्वामयोघात् चक्रं ते कालरूपं व्यथयतु न तु मां त्वत्पदैकावलम्बं विष्णो कारुण्य सिन्धो पवनपुरपते पाहि सर्वामयोघात्
चक्रं ते कालरूपं व्यतयतु ननु तु मां त्वत्पदैकावलम्बं विष्णो कारुण्य सिन्धो पवनपुरपते पाहि सर्वामयोगात्.
And Pavanapurapate, after there's a comma, okay? After Karunya Sindhu and Pavanapurapate.
चक्रं ते कालरूपं व्यतयतु ननु तु मां त्वत्पदैकावलम्बं विष्णो कारुण्य सिन्धो पवनपुरपते पाहि सर्वामयोगात्.
Krishnaya Parabrahmane Namaha. Uma, I think in the third line you're adding an extra na somewhere. Vyatayatu na tu mam.
व्यतयतु न तु मां. Okay.
Correct. Yeah. Krishnaya Parabrahmane Namaha. So anyway, so this was the 98th. Like we said, this is like every line is a salutation. So you can treat it as a Namaskara Slokam and you can say it every day and do Namaskaram as well. Okay, so we'll now jump to the last one for the session, which is the 100th Dasakam. So this is Keshadi Padanta Varnanam. So Kesha means hair, head. Pada is the foot. Varnanam is a description. So description of the Lord from head to his foot. So this one, so as of the 99th Dashakam, when Bhattacharya writes the 99th Dashakam on the 99th day, right, he's still not cured, okay, at the end of this. So in the last stanza of the 99th Dashakam, where he talks about, it's taken from the Vedas, from the Rig Veda primarily, the 99th Dashakam, and he talks about how you are the Purusha Suktam, all of that is coming, right, in that. And then in the last stanza, Bhattacharya says that no matter how much I describe your greatness as Brahman and all that you are capable of, he says, my mind cannot comprehend it. Right? I am not able to visualize because Brahman doesn't have a form. We already discussed all that. So he says, I cannot comprehend any of it. He says, for me, the easiest way is to resort to idol worship because I can see you right in front of me in Guruvayur, which is how he started the first Dasakam also, right? So that's how he ends saying that I am going to resort to worshipping this pure sattva form of yours, which has a certain shape and certain form in the form of an idol, which I am seeing in front of me. That's how he ends the 99th chapter. Now, the 100th chapter, right, when he starts, so first, so this is, essentially a description of the Lord, right, all the way. So we'll start from, so each stanza is one part of the body. That's how it goes, right? And then finally he ends in the 10th and the 11th stanzas. So stanza 1. Agre pashyami tejo nibidatara kala yavali lobhaniyam पीयूषाप्लावितोऽहं तदनु तदुदरे दिव्यकैशोरवेशं तारुण्यारम्भरम्यं परमसुकरसास्वादरोमाञ्चिताङ्गैः आवीतं नारदाध्यैः विलसदुपनिषत्सुन्दरी मण्डलैश्च. He says he's first. So I don't know how many of you have been to Guruvayur. At least the new Guruvayur looks, I'm sure, very different from the old Guruvayur, right? So when you enter into the main place where all the Siveli and all the procession happens, it's a bigger campus, bigger area of the temple. And then you enter into a smaller area of a temple where you can't, the door is shorter than even me, right? It's a small door and only one person can fit. So you enter into it and now they have a lot of things on the left and right. But right when you enter into it, and you can see Krishna right in front of you, on the left side, they will have actually a small, a memory, in memory of, it says, this is where Narayana Bhattacharya sat and wrote the Narayaneeyam. You can actually touch it. When you enter into that, it will be right on your left side. You're all standing in line and it will be right on your left side. So for him, the vision is from there, he's able to see straight through, right? Now, of course, they have all these pillars and everything, but probably it was not there before. So anyway, so he's starting off by seeing, I'm seeing in front of me, Agre Pashyam, I'm seeing right in front of my eyes. I'm seeing this dark blue hue, like a dark blue color, right? Which he compares it to this Kalaya flowers, blue lily. He says, just like how if we have a set of bunch of dense blue lily flowers, it creates a dark blue hue, right? I'm seeing the dark blue hue. And the dark blue hue is so pious and so divine that he says, I'm completely immersed in that, right? I'm not able to see anything. I'm only able to see that, and I'm enjoying myself in that. And he says, in between now, when I'm looking more into the dark blue, right in middle of the dark blue, I am actually seeing a form. And he says that form of yours is Divya Kaishora Vesham. Kaishora Vesham is Kishora Vesham. Kishora is a youth. Youth means up to the age 16. So he's not seeing the small baby Krishna. He's not seeing the form of Krishna like how, or Narayana, like who Brahma saw lying on the Ananta Shayanam. He's seeing a form of Krishna, which is a Divya Kaishora Vesham, which is why it's called as the Venu Gopala Rupam. It's like a Kishora Vesham. So he's saying, I'm seeing that right in front of me. I'm now beginning to see this form of this. And now he says, when I'm seeing this form, I'm having horripilation all over my body, right? Because he's saying that form is so divine. And I'm completely immersed and bathed in it. And I have hair standing all over my body, and I'm getting this horripilation feeling. And then he says, I'm also seeing around this, I see all women kind of people standing, he says, who are nothing but the Gopikas or the Upanishads themselves, taking the form of the Gopikas and standing around the Lord. So this is the form I'm seeing, along with Narada and few others. I'm beginning to see this form of the Lord. So that is what is said, that he actually saw the form of the Lord, and then he's going to describe what he saw in front of him, right? So that's what he's beginning to see first. So agre pashyami tejo nibidadhara kalayavali lobhaniyam, piyusha plavitoham, tadanu tadudare divya kaishora vesham. Agre pashyami tejo nibidadhara kalayavali lobhaniyam, piyusha plavitoham, tadanu tadudare divya kaishora vesham.
Agre pashyami tejo nibiditara kalayavali lobhaniyam, piyusha plavitoham, tadanu tadudare divya kaishora vesham. Agre pashyami tejo nibiditara kalayavali lobhaniyam, piyusha plavitoham, tadanu tadudare divya kaishora vesham.
Agre pashyami tejo nipitatara kala yavali lopaniyam piyusha plavidoham tadanu tadudare divya kaishora vesham. Agre pashyami tejo nipitatara kala yavali lopaniyam piyusha plavidoham tadanu tadudare divya kaishora vesham.
Tarunya Rambha Ramyam, Parama Sukha Rasaswada Romanchitangaihi. So put a visarga then, Romanchitangaihi, next line the Ravitam becomes Avitam. Avitam Naradadhyehi. Put a visarga and Next line, next word, the Vilasat, there's a ir that goes away. So Vilasad Upanishad Sundari Mandalaischa. Tarunyarambharamyam Paramasukarasaaswada Romanchitangaihi Avitam Naradadhihi Vilasadupanishad Sundari Mandalaischa.
Tarunyarambharamyam Paramasukarasaaswada Romanchitangaihi Avitam Naradadhyaihi Vilasadupanishad Sundari Mandalaischa. Tarunyarambharamyam Paramasukarasaaswada Romanchitangaihi Avitam Naradadhyaihi Vilasadupanishad Sundari Mandalaischa.
Tarunyarambharamyam Paramasugarasa Swada Romanchitangaihi Avitam Naradatyaihi Vilasadupanishad Sundari Mandalaischa. Tarunyarambharamyam Paramasugarasa Swada Romanchitangaihi Avitam Naradatyaihi Vilasadupanishad Sundari Mandalaischa.
Okay, we'll switch halfway. Radha Garu, you can be a student, and Padma, you can be a student. Okay. Stanza 2. नीलाभं कुञ्चिताग्रं घनममलतरं संयतं चारुभङ्ग्या रत्नोत्तंसाभिरामं वलयितमुदयच्चन्द्रकैः पिञ्चजालैः मन्दारस्रङ्निभीतं तव पृथुखबरी भारमालोकयेऽहं स्निग्धश्वेतोर्ध्वपुण्ड्रामपि च सुललितां फालबालेन्दुवीतीम्. Now he's beginning the description. So now he starts first with Tava Prutu Khabari. So Alokeham. So I'm seeing right in front of me. Khabari means like referring to the hair. So he says thick, luscious black hair, which is very curly in shape. And of course, there's a lot of hair. And this hair isn't kept because there's a crown with jewels which he's seeing, which is kept on the hair. And then the hair is also on top of the hair. He's also seeing this pincha jhalehi. He's seeing the peacock feathers. And he's saying these peacock feathers are so beautiful that the eyes of the peacock are actually coming to life by just looking at the peacock feathers. It's very clearly defined peacock feather which is there. And the hair is also tied by mandara strangnivi. The mandara is the yellow color flowers. So the yellow color flowers which are holding your hair together. So that's why he's first starting with the hair and the crown which is there on top of the hair, on the head. Next he comes to your forehead. He says the forehead looks very soft, right? Okay, essentially he's saying no wrinkle marks or anything, right? He's saying very soft forehead. And in that soft forehead, he says, I'm seeing a white sandal paste mark. And this white sandal paste mark is going up, but it's very thin. He says thin like Bala Indu Vitim. Bala Indu means referring to the young moon. So the young moon is the 5th day moon, which is called as the Panchami Chandra, which has got the most stages. So this looks like a very small sliver of the moon. So he says, I'm seeing such a small sliver of chandanam, which I'm seeing right on your forehead, which is going, top down. So Neelabham Kunchitagram, comma, Ghanam Amalataram, Ghanam Amalataram, but you can say it together, Ghanam Amalataram, Samyatam Charu Bhangya, comma, Ratnot Tamsabhi Ramam, comma, Valayitam Udayach, Chandrakaihi, put a F, Chandrakaiv, Pinchajalaihi. Neelabham Kunchitagram, Ghanamamalataram, Samyatam Charubhangya, Ratnottam Sabhiramam, Valayitamudaya Chandrakaiv, Pinchajalaihi.
नीलाभं कुञ्चिताग्रं घनममलतरं संयुतं चारुभङ्ग्या रत्नोत्तं साभिरामं वलयुतम् उदयचन्द्रकैः पिञ्चजालैः वलयुतम् चन्द्र नीलाभं कुञ्चिताग्रं घनममलतरं संयुतं चारुभङ्ग्या रत्नोत्तं साभिरामं वलयुतमुदयश्चन्द्रकैः पिञ्चजालैः
नीलाभं कुञ्चिताग्रं घनममलतरं संयुतं चारुभङ्ग्या रत्नोत्थं साभिरामं वलयितमुदयैश्चन्द्रकैः पिञ्चजालैः.
Padma Garu, first line samyatam. I think you said samyutam. Yatam.
Samyatam.
Yeah.
नीलाभं कुञ्चिताग्रं घनममलतरं संयतं चारुभङ्ग्या रत्नोत्थं साभिरामं वलयितमुदयश्चन्द्रकैः पिञ्चजालैः.
Mandara Srang Nivitam, Tava Pritu Kabari Bharam Alokayeham. If you want to break it, Bharam Alokayeham, Snigdha Shvetordva Pundramapi Cha Sulalitam Phala Balendu Vitim. This last line, no pause. Mandharasrangnivitam Tava Prutukhabari Bharamalokayeham Snigdashvetordva Pundramapi cha Sulalitam Phala Balendu Vitim.
मन्दारस्रग्निवीतं तव पृदु खबरीभारमालोकयेऽहं स्निग्धश्वेतोर्ध्वपुण्ड्रामपि च सुललितां फालबालेन्दुवीथिम् मन्दारस्रग्निवीतं तव पृदु खबरीभारमालोकयेऽहं स्निग्धश्वेतोर्ध्वपुण्ड्रामपि च सुललितां फालबालेन्दुवीथिम्
मन्दारस्रग्निवीतं तव पृथुकबरीभारमालोकयेऽहं स्निग्धश्वेतोर्ध्वपुण्ड्रामपि च सुललितां फालबालेन्दुवीथिम्.
Padma Garu, that third line, right? Mandara srang, ing sound. Srang nivitam.
Okay. मन्दारस्रग्निवीतं तव पृथुकबरीभारमालोकयेऽहं स्निग्धश्वेतोर्ध्वपुण्ड्रामपि च सुललितां फालबालेन्दुवीथिम्.
I think that again that you are saying srak, you are saying ik sound. It's a ing sound. Srang nivitam.
Srang vitam.
Yeah, it's ka kha ga ga nga, right? That nga, that ing. Srang nivitam.
Yeah.
Stanza 3. Hridyam purnānukamparnavamrudulahari chanchala bhruvilasaihi Anila snigdha pakshma valiparilasitam netra yugmam vibhote sandrachayam vishalaruna kamaladala karama mugdhatharam karunya lokalila shishirita bhuvanam kshipyatam mayyanathe. It's now coming below the forehead. So he starts off by saying, Kshipyata mai anate, saying, I am such, I'm a forsaken one, because he's still not cured, right? For 99 days, Bhattaripada has been composing this Narayaneeyam, he's still not cured. And all of us also have a problem. The same thing applies. He says, I am a forsaken one, so you please cast your eyes on me, look at me, please, right? He says, because now when he's describing the eyes, he's saying that Netra Yugmam, he's saying the eyes which are, the eyebrows. First he starts. He says the eyebrows are like the waves of an ocean because it's filled with compassion. Ocean is very serene, right? Very calm. So he says you are a person who's full of compassion. So of course your eyebrows are like the waves of an ocean, which are very calm and very serene. And then your eyes, then they also have lustrous eyelashes, right? There's beautiful eyelashes on your eyes. And then he comes to the eyes and says the eyes, and this of course you've heard in Vishnu Sahasranama, anything you take, it always talks about how Kamala Dalam, it's like the petals of a lotus. Like if you take the petals of a lotus, it is very nicely shaped and it has also got a bulge and everything, right? He says your eyes are very nicely shaped like the petals of a lotus. And these eyes, when you look around, right, Karunya Lokalila, just by glancing, and we also saw that in when Krishna Avataram, when we were seeing, he says just before Krishna was going to be born, he said it rained because there was so much heat in this world, and the rain had to come to cool, just like how Krishna, you were coming to cool the world, right? And similarly, your eyes, when you glance at everybody, it feels as if the entire world's sins are going to get eradicated, whosoever on who your eyes fall, right? Your glances fall. So please, on me also, Kshipyata mai anate, I am also a forsaken one. So please glance your beautiful eyes on me and eradicate all the sorrows I am having. Hridyam Purnanu Kamparnava. You can't break that word, so you have to say it up to that. Purnanu Kamparnava Mridu Lahari Chanchala Bhru Vilasaihi. Put a visarga there and a comma. So that line is continuous. Next line, the Ra becomes Anila Snigdha Pakshmavali Pari Lasitam, comma, Netra Yugmam Vibho Te. Hridyam Purnanukamparnavamrudulahari Chanchala Bhruvilasaihi Anila Snigdha Pakshmavali Pari Lasitam Netra Yugmam Vibho Te.
Hrutyam Purnanukamparnava Mrudulahari Chanchala Bhruvilasaihi Anila Snigdha Pakshma Valiparilasitam Netrayugmam Vibhote.
Yeah.
Hrudyam purnanukamparnava mrudula hari chanchala bhruvilasaihi anila snigdha pakshma valipari netrayignam vibhote.
Netrayugmam. Yugm.
Netrayugmam. Okay.
हृद्यं पूर्णानुकम्पार्णव मृदुलहरी चञ्चलभ्रूविलासैः आनीलस्निग्ध पक्ष्मावलिपरिलसितं नेत्रयुग्मं विभोते हृद्यं पूर्णानुकम्पार्णव मृदुलहरी चञ्चलभ्रूविलासैः आनीलस्निग्ध पक्ष्मावलिपरिलसितं नेत्रयुग्मं विभोते
Sandrachayam Vishalaruna Kamala Dalakaram Amugda. If you want to break it, Dalakaram Amugda, or you can say it together, Dalakaram Amugda Taram. So that whole line is together as well, comma at the end. Karunya Loka Leela Shishirita Bhuvanam, comma, Kshipyatam Mayanathe. Sandrachayam Vishalarunakamaladalaramamuగ్ధతారం కారుణ్యాలోకలీలా శిశిరిత భువనం క్షిప్యతాం మయ్యనాథే.
సాంద్రఛాయం విశాలారుణ కమలదలాకారమాముగ్ధతారం కారుణ్యాలోకలీలశచరిత భువనం క్షిప్యతాం మయ్యనాథే. సాంద్రఛాయం విశాలారుణ కమలదలాకారమాముగ్ధతారం కారుణ్యాలోకలీలశిశిరత భువనం క్షిప్యతాం మయ్యనాథే.
Radhagaru, that last line, Leela, this little bit ah was missing there. Karunya loka Leela.
Okay.
సాంద్రఛాయం విశాలారుణకమలదలాకారమాముగ్ధతారం కారుణ్యాలోకలీలా శిశిరత భువనం క్షిప్యతాం మయ్యనాథే. సాంద్రఛాయం విశాలారుణకమలదలాకారమాముగ్ధతారం కారుణ్యలోకలీలా శిశిరత భువనం క్షిప్యతాం మయ్యనాథే.
No, Shishirita. Okay, Padma Garu, that fourth line, right?
శిశిరిత భువనం.
Stanza 4. Uttunghollasinasam Harimani Mukura Prolasatgandapali Vyalolat Karnapashanchita Makaramani Kundaladvandvadipram Unmiladdantapanktisphuradharunatara Priti Prasyandi Mandasmidhamadurataram Vaktramudbhasatam me. So now he's coming down to the face, right? We covered the eyes in the previous one, now he's coming to the face. So he first starts with Uttungo Lasi Nasam. He says your nose is properly shaped. So that's also very important, right? So for me, my characteristics is from my maternal side, I have big nose because my mom has a big nose, my uncles have big nose. Some people have long, big noses. He says, oh, your nose, oh, Krishna, is properly shaped. It's not too big, it's not small, it's properly shaped nose. Then he comes to the cheeks. He says your cheeks are Hari Mani Mukura. It's like so smooth and it's reflecting. It's as if like an emerald mirror. He's actually reflecting, and it is reflecting the Kundala Dvandva. In your 2 ears, you are wearing 2 kundalam which are shaped as like a fish shaped earrings that you are wearing on your 2 ears. And he says your cheeks are so smooth that I can actually see the reflection of those fish shaped earrings in your cheeks. That's how smooth your cheeks are, right? And then then he says about the fish-shaped earrings, which are actually, the Makara Muni Kundala Dvandva Deepram. They are, hanging from your 2 ears. And then he says your lips are very beautiful, red, like the red bimba fruit, right? So there's a bimba, B-I-M-B-A. You can Google that. That's like a red color fruit. So he says lips are reddish, like that bimba fruit. And he says your lips, however, they are not fully shut, nor are they fully open. They're slightly open. Because when now I can peek through those slightly open lips and I can now see I can see the beautiful smile. So this, when we look at Ashtanga Yoga, when you come to the Dharanam, Dhyana and all that stage, Says, see, you can't meditate on nothing, right? That is very hard for everybody to do. So even Krishna says to Uddhava at the very end, when Krishna is about to depart, he says, you imagine my form. First he says, imagine my full form, because you will not have the knowledge to be able to zoom in and just focus on one point. He says, you imagine my full form, which is very easy, right? And then he says, once you reached a level of control, then he says, you just focus on my face. He says, because you focus on my face, because you look at any photo of Krishna that you might have, or Guru Ayappan that you have, it will be a very smiling face. So that's why he says this Mandasmita Madhurataram. It's very smiling face, which is very sweet to look at. So, right, so he says now Bhattripad is also zooming in and saying that face of yours, which is overflowing with love, right? So that's what he's now saying. And then he says that face, please again, look at me, right? And please bless me, that face of yours that I'm seeing here. So, Uttungol Lasi Nasam, put a comma, and then pretty much the next two lines you have to say it together, right? So one comma after Nasam, and then the first and second line are together. Hari Mani Mukura Prolasat Ganda Pali, long E, Pali, put a plus, Vyalolat Karna Pashanchita Makara Mani Kundala Dvandva Deepram. It's pretty straightforward. The words split easily. Uttunghollasinhasam Harimani Mukura Prolasatgandapali Vyalolat Karnapashanchita Makaramani Kundala Dvandvadipram.
Uttungolasinasam Harimani Mukura Prolasatgandapali Vyalolat Karnapashanchita Makaramani Kundala Dvandvadipram Deepram. Uttungolasinasam Harimani Mukura Prolasatgandapali Vyalolat Karnapashanchita Makaramani Kundala Dvandvadipram.
Uttangolasinasam Harimani Makura Prolasatgandapali Vyalolat Karnapashanchita Makaramani Kundala Dvandvadri Deepram.
Yeah, Dvandva Deepram.
Uttangolasinasam Harimani Mukura Prolasatgandapali Vyalolat Karnapashanchita Makaramani Kundala Dvandvadipram.
Unmilat Danta Pankti Spuradharunatara. Spurat Arunatara, but you don't have to break it. Spuradharunatara Chaya, each and then Chaya. Spuradharunatara Chaya Bimbadarantaha is there. So you put a plus and then put a F there. Bimbadarantah Preeti Prasyandi Manda Smita Madhura Taram, comma. So that third line is continuous, and on the fourth line after Madhura Taram there is a comma. Vaktram Udbhasatam me. Unmiladanta Panktis Puradharunatara Chaya Bimbadharantah Preeti Prasyandi Mandasmita Madhurataram Vaktram Udbhasatam me.
Unmiladhanta Pankti Spuradharunatharachaya Bimbadharanta Prita Prasyandi Mandasmita Madhurataram Vaktramad me.
Okay, just a couple of things. Vaktram Udbhasatam me. Okay. And then
Okay.
and then third line end, right? Bimbhadarantah. I think that you said something slightly different there, but I'll
Tough. Okay. Unmiladhanta Pankti Spuradharana Tarachayam Bimbadharanta Prita Prasyandi Priti Prasyandi Mandasmita Madhurataram Vaktramudbhasatam me.
Bhasatam.
Madbhasatam me. Okay.
Unmiladhanta Pankti Spuradharunatara Chaya Bimbadharanta Preeti Prasyandi Mandasmita Madhurataram Vaktramudbhasatam me. उन्मीलद्धन्तपङ्क्तिस्फुरदरुणतरच्छाय बिम्बान्तरान्ताः प्रस्यन्ति मन्दस्मितमधुरतरं वक्त्रमुद्भासतां मे.
We'll do maybe a couple of stanzas and we'll stop. Bahudvandvena Ratnojwalavalaya Shonapane Pravale Nopatam Venunalim Prasita Nakamayu Kanguli Sangasharam Kritva Bhaktrara Vindhe Sumadhura Vikasat Ragamudbhavyamanehi Shabda Brahmamritaistvam Shishirita Bhuvanaihi Sinchame Karnaviti. So next he says the ragam udbhav, the melody which is actually coming from the flute, right? Which is this we're going to see that about the Venunadam. There's a separate chapter Dasakam around it, right? About the impact of it. Anyway, so here Bhattacharya is saying the Venunadam, which is the ragam udbhavyamanehi, which is coming out of that, is as if the Brahman himself. If I have to put Brahman in a shape, he said, I'm going to give your form to the Brahman. If I have to now define Brahman as a sound, right? If I have to put him as a sound, that is a sound which is actually coming out of your flute, which he says is like a nectar to my ears. So this flute, which is actually placed on your mouth, is soothing my karnavitim, is soothing my ear passages, because it's such melodious music which is actually coming out of these flutes. Then he goes on to talk about Bahu Dvandvena. So Bahu means hand, right? Bahu Bali, right? The hand. So he says this Bahu, the two hands of yours are holding the flute, and he's talking about how the flute is multicolored, and then the rays of light which are coming from the nails which are holding the flute is reflecting it, and it is making it look even more pretty. So he's describing how Lord is holding his flute with the two hands, and then the music that is actually coming from it. So Bahu Dvandvena, comma Ratnoj Jwala Valaya Bhrita, comma Shona Pani Pravale, and then put a plus, No Patam Venu Nalim, comma. So one comma after Bahu Dvandvena, one after Jwala Valaya Bhrita, comma, then after Venu Nalim, second line, Prasrutha Nakha Mayu Kanguli Sanga Sharam. Bahudvandvena Ratnojwalavalaya Bhrita Shonapane Pravale Nopatam Venunalim Prasuta Nakamayu Kanguli Sangasharam.
Bahudvandvena Ratnojwalavalaya Shonapani Pravale Nopatam Venunalim Prasrutanakamayu Kanguli Sangasharam. Bahudvandvena Ratnojwalavalaya Shonapani Pravale Nopatam Venunalim Prasrutanakamayu Kanguli Sangasharam.
Bahudvandvena Ratnojwalavalaya Shonapani Pravale Nopatam Venunalim Prasrutanakamayu Kanguli Sangasharam. Bahudvandvena Ratnojwalavalaya Shonapani Pravale Nopatam Venunalim Prasrutanakamayu Kanguli Sangasharam.
Kritva Bhaktrara Vindhe, comma Sumadhura Vikasad Ragam. If you want to make it, it's Dra, but the Dra is It and Ra, it may be easier to say it. Vikasad Ragam Udbhavyamanehi, comma Shabda Brahma Mritais Tvam Shishirita Bhuvanaihi, comma Sincha Me Karna Vitim. Kritva Bhaktrara Vindhe Sumadhura Vikasat Ragamudbhavyamanehi Shabda Brahmamritaistvam Shishirita Bhuvanaihi Sinchame Karnavitim.
Krutva Vakrara Vinde Sumadhura Vikasadragamudbhavyamanaihi Shabda Brahmamrutyaistvam Shishirata Bhuvanaihi Sinchame Karnavidhim.
Vitim, long E.
Krutva Vakrara Vinde Sumadhura विकसद्रागमुद्भाव्यमानैः शब्दब्रह्ममृत्यैस्त्वं शिशरितभुवनैः सिञ्च मे कर्णवीथिम्
कृत्वा वक्तारविन्दे सुमधुरविकसद्रागमुद्भाव्यमानैः शब्दब्रह्मामृतैस्त्वं शिशिरभुवनैः सिञ्च मे कर्णवीथिम्.
Padma, fourth line, Shishirita.
शिशिरितभुवनैः.
Yeah.
कृत्वा वक्त्रारविन्दे सुमधुरविकसद्रागमुद्भावमानैः शब्दब्रह्मामृतैस्त्वं शिशिरितभुवनैः सिञ्च मे कर्णवीथिम्.
We'll just do one more and we'll stop. उत्सर्पत् कौस्तुभश्रीततिभिररुणितं कोमलं कण्ठदेशं वक्षश्रीवत्सरम्यं तरलतरसमुद्दीप्रहारप्रतानं नानावर्णप्रसूनावलिकिसलैः वन्यमालां विलोलल्लोलम्भां लम्बमानामुरसि तव तथा भावये रत्नमालाम्. This is Bhave. I'm now meditating on Kanta Desham. Kanta means your neck area. So he says this neck area of yours, which is now what is there in the neck is the Kaustuba jewel, the jewel that is there. So this Kaustuba jewel money which is there, that is making that area look very reddish because of the jewel. What the Kaustubam is red color, so it's making that area look very reddish in color as well because of the rays which are coming out of the jewel. Then he comes to the chest. So your chest is because of the Sri Vatsa mark. Sri Vatsa just means, Sri means Mahalakshmi or auspiciousness or Lakshmi. Vatsa means where the person resides. So all it means is Sri Vatsa, the mark is an indication that that is the place where Mahalakshmi resides. And we remember in the in Krishna Avataram, it says Vakshasthali Sukanilina Vilasi Lakshmi. Vakshasthali, one who is residing in your chest. Right, so I'm seeing the Srivatsa mark where Mahalakshmi herself is residing there, and then he goes around and then says, then you are wearing a garland which is with multicolored flowers which are actually Vanyamala, right? So what's with Vanamali, Gadishangi, it's in Vishnu Sahasranamam, right? It's the same thing, that Vanamali is multicolored forest flowers, made of forest flowers, that garland that you are actually wearing. So to that I'm prostrating or meditating on. So Utsarpat Kaustubha Shri Tatibhira Runitam, comma, Komalam Kantha Desham, comma, Vakshaha, put a ish, Vakshash Srivatsa Ramyam, there's a comma after that, Vakshash Srivatsa Ramyam, comma, Taralatara Samuddeepra Hara Pratanam. उत्सर्पत् कौस्तुभश्रीततिभिररुणितं कोमलं कण्ठदेशं वक्षश्रीवत्सरम्यं तरलतरसमुद्दीप्रहारप्रतानम्.
उत्सर्पत् कौस्तुभश्रीततिभिररुणितं कोमलं कण्ठदेशं वक्षश्रीवत्सरम्यं तरलतरसमुद्दीप्रहारप्रतानम्. उत्सर्पत् कौस्तुभश्रीततिभिररुणितं कोमलं कण्ठदेशं वक्षश्रीवत्सरम्यं तरलतरसमुद्दीप्रहारप्रतानम्.
उत्सर्पत् कौस्तुभ श्रीततिभिररुणितं कोमलं कण्ठदेशं वक्षश्रीवत्सरम्यं तरलतरसमुद्दीप्रहारप्रतानम्. उत्सर्पत् कौस्तुभ श्रीततिभिररुणितं कोमलं कण्ठदेशं वक्षश्रीवत्सरम्यं तरलतरसमुद्दीप्रहारप्रतानम्.
नाना वर्ण प्रसूनावली किसलयिनीं, comma, Vanyamalam Bilola, then put a plus at the end of that line. Vanyamalam Bilolal Lolambam. That ill that is there in the next line, if you have it, you can say it with the previous one. Bilolal Lolambam, comma, Lambamanam Urasi tava tatha bhavaye ratnamalam. Nanha varna prasuna valikisalaihi vanyamalam vilolallolambham lambamana murasitava tatha bhavaye ratnamalam.
నానా వర్ణ ప్రసూన వలికి సలయినీం వన్యమాలాం విలో లల్లోలంబాం లంభమానా మురసితవ తదా భావయే రత్నమాలాం. నానా వర్ణ ప్రసూన వలికి సలయినీం వన్యమాలాం విలో లల్లోలంబాం లంభమానా మురసితవ తదా భావయే రత్నమాలాం.
నానావర్ణ ప్రసూనావలకి సలయినీం వన్యమాలాం విలోలల్లోలం లోలంబాం లంబమూనా మురసి తవ తథా భావయే రత్నమాలాం.
The last time lambamanam urasi. Lambhamanam.
మురసి. ఓకే. నానావర్ణ ప్రసూనా వలకి సలయినీం
Valikisalaini.
ఓకే. నానావర్ణ ప్రసూనా వలికి సలయనీం వన్యమాలాం విలోల లోలంబాం లంబమానా మురసి తవ తథా భావయే రత్నమాలాం.
Shri Krishnaya Parabrahmane Namaha. So we'll stop the class here today. Sandhanandhavabodhatmakamanupamitam kaladeshavadibhyam nirmuktam nityamuktam nigamashatasahasrena nirbhasyamanam aspashtam drishtamatre punarurupurusharthatmakam brahmatattvam tattavad bhati sakshat gurupavanapure hanta bhagyam jananam kahena vacha manasendriyerva buddhyatmana va prakrite swabhavat karomi yatyat sakalam parasmai narayanaayeti samarpayami. Thank you everyone. So we have like just 5 more stanzas. So the way I'm thinking is next class we will finish off the 5 stanzas up front. So it will take only about 30 minutes. So we have another 1 hour left, and then one more class after that, which is hour and a half. So 2.5 hours, right? So generally we should be able to do this entire 20 dasakams twice. Okay. Typically in the 20 dasakams when you do Parayanam, it takes 1.5 hours. So maybe we may not be able to do the entire thing twice, but at least we'll try to do close to 2 times, right? I'm just going to send a Excel sheet for sign up, right? I'll have you guys pick whatever chapters you want to review. So what we'll do is after tomorrow next class, once I finish the remaining 5 stanzas, we'll then start all the way from 1. Okay. And then we'll go to 100. Then we'll have another round. Let's see how much we are able to finish in the class after that. So each of you initially sign up for 1 for next class, and then we will see how much we are able to do in the class after that, right? And most probably everybody will get 2, I'm assuming, but we'll see, how much we're able to cover. Okay, any questions? And then we'll officially kind of conclude this, right? And then we'll start the next session.
Okay.
Thank you, Rajesh.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Rajesh.
Thank you, Rajesh.
Bye.